Welcome, viewers. My name is Jennifer Bampo, and I am your host for today. Today, we are privileged to have one of the learned and well-experienced Member of Parliament for Pru-East Constituency, Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donkor. Honorable, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Honorable, before you became a Member of Parliament, we want to have a little background about you before you joined politics or before you came to Parliament.
Well, I'm not too sure whether I joined politics or politics found me. I was a cadre of the 31st December Revolution, and so I was with the PNDC, Student and Youth Task Force, INCC, Confiscated Assets Committee, Castle Information Bureau, PNDC Secretariat. So I went through that phase. Unfortunately, I was picked up in November 1989 in the so-called Kwashiga coup. And then when I was released from custody, I decided to go back to school. The same government, under His Excellency, the late Fire Lieutenant Rawlings, asked me to come back. And therefore, I came back to Ghana in 1997 in his second term and final term of office. I went to the Diversity Implementation Committee as a principal consultant. From there, I moved on to the Ministry of Energy to operationalize the bulk oil storage and transportation company.
That is Boast.
Boast as his first chief executive.
Wow,
and
amazing.
Then we lost the 2000 election. I was on interdiction for 4.5 years.
Wow.
Through all sorts of investigations and again cleared or exonerated, which even sounds better. I went to lecture at Central University. I was the director of the MBA program of Central University, whilst being at Cuckoo Hill on the Professor Mills' campaign team. And then when NDC, by the grace of God, won the 2 election, so that I became the member secretary for the energy group of the transition team. I became a deputy minister for energy, initially in charge of petroleum. From the ministry, again, I went to set up the Petroleum Commission as its first chief executive, and then came to Parliament from Petroleum Commission on the advice of the late Professor Mills. May his soul rest in peace. So he had a vision of setting up a Ministry of Petroleum if I had lived and won the 2012 election. And so, in brief, that is my political history.
Okay, so, Honorable, you have mentioned a lot, and I'm like, wow, this is a well-learned person. I came across something yesterday, and I realized that you had your PhD in 1995.
Yes.
And I was amazed. Honestly, I was amazed. And I was like, these are the kind of people that we need in our Ghanaian parliament and we need in our Ghanaian politics. So I don't know.
From the University of Bristol, one of what we call the Russell Group universities in UK, a top-notch university.
So, Noble, I would want to ask, you mentioned the late Professor Mills. Did he motivate you to join politics?
No, in fact, he came to meet me in politics.
Oh.
Because I was with the PNDC Secretariat.
Oh,
He joined us later as the Commissioner of IRS, Internal Revenue Service. But Professor Mills has always been a politician.
Yeah.
Well, let me not say politician, a nationalist.
Okay.
Yes, he was a student of the Kwame Nkrumah Theological Institute.
I see.
Yes. And his nationalistic credentials are unquestionable. And I love that about him. Professor Mills, I remember I went to him when one of our crises with supply of fuel. And I call him Papa. I said, Papa, why don't you go to this country, meet your colleague and He asked me a very simple and fundamental question. Now, Kwabena, do you know the cost of a presidential travel?
Really?
Do you know how much it costs the state to move a president? That was the
Wow.
humility and style of the person. He was so conscious
Wow.
of cost to Ghana.
Wow.
And so I had the privilege when he sent me as a special emissary. I have to go and meet heads of state to
Wow.
discuss oil and petroleum issues. And so Professor Mills, I became part of his family. That's why I call him father, Papa. And his brothers are alive to testify. Dr. Cadman says he's my junior father.
Wow.
In Ghanaian parlance, your father's brother is not your uncle.
Exactly.
So he's my junior father. And
Exactly.
Honorable Sami Mills is also in Parliament.
Oh.
Yes, they are here, they will testify. Professor Mills has been extremely unique in my life.
Wow.
He taught me a few fundamental things.
Such.
For example, when I became deputy minister, there were two things. He says, Kwabena, as a politician, we drive. As a politician who is also futuristic,
Okay.
never get yourself involved in visa issues or auction cars.
Wow.
Yes. It's been my guiding light, and people will tell you if you come to me to help in a visa, I'll tell you, unfortunately, no, I don't have the power. I don't have the justification to even get involved.
Wow.
That was typical of Professor Miles and his children, his political children. A number of us are still around. And
Wow. I think it's time most of the incoming members of parliament learn from you. Yes, we are supposed to learn a lot from you. Honorable, so you've been with parliament from the 6th, 7th, and now with the 8th parliament.
let me also state this, put
Okay.
it on record. I was one of the young operatives of the PNDC, as I stated earlier, and I had a very close relationship with His Excellency Fire Lieutenant Rawlings,
Okay.
to the extent that even when he heard that I was lecturing in University of Bristol, he asked the late Ohenekena to convince me to come back. And when I came back, I couldn't have become chief executive of Boston without his personal say so.
Wow.
And he was very nationalistic. He was human. He made his mistakes, as we all do. But his love, his deep and abiding love for Ghana goes unmatched in my view.
Wow. That's good. So, Honorable, we want to know some of your contribution and achievements when we come to issues of democracy here in Ghana.
You see, I have a fundamental issue about democracy. We must accept that ours is a transitional democracy.
Sure. Sure.
We are moving from a society that was based on traditional rulership, non elected, selected rulership, to what we envisage as a democracy. So, our definition of democracy must be nuanced
Okay.
in our culture.
Okay.
Why do I say this? Let me give you an example. Our constitution says we're a republic.
Yes.
Our constitution also recognizes chiefs and chieftaincy,
Exactly.
chiefdoms.
Exactly.
Indeed, but for a Supreme Court ruling, the Chieftaincy Act initially contained a provision that when the chief summons you, you are summoned to a chief's palace and you don't go, it was criminal. You could be prosecuted. So, look, if you look at South Korea, if you look at Malaysia, if you look at Singapore, if you look at Botswana, all these countries that have made major progress and who were our peers at independence have a common characteristics. They are a very strong, internally consistent society.
Wow.
They are comfortable with their culture. They are comfortable with themselves as a people.
Okay.
If you take Malaysia, for example, the Malaysian constitution recognizes their traditional rulers. And
Exactly.
indeed, the ceremonial president of Malaysia at any time is a chief, is
Mm-hmm.
a traditional ruler.
Mm-hmm.
And that rotates among the established and recognized traditional rulers in Malaysia. So the president, the ceremonial president, the head of state, is a
State.
traditional ruler.
Interesting.
So I'm saying all this because we have to be comfortable with who we are.
Who we
We are
are.
pretending to be what we are
And not.
not. And so there isn't respect in our culture today, in our body politics. There's no respect for age, there's no respect for experience,
Exactly.
there's no respect for hard work.
Mm.
A Ghanaian society that was built on hard work. It was built on respect for elders. It was built on respect for the collective. We are losing that. If we haven't lost it, we are losing that. And so um, you come to Parliament,
Okay.
a first timer in Parliament
Okay.
is considered on the same level with a seventh timer, a sixth timer,
An experienced
as
person.
far as Parliament is concerned. The remuneration is the same.
I see.
So we do not value
Experience.
experience. We do, and I'm not just talking of experience for experience sake. Somebody could be experience in the wrong thing. So that is not the type of experience I'm talking about. Experience of positivity,
Positivity.
experience of achievement,
Achievement.
experience of proven leadership.
Wow.
These are not valued. And too often, when I hear MPs criticized or political leaders criticized, I said, yes, we deserve to be criticized. I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize MPs. I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize our elected leaders. I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize President Akufo-Addo or any other president. However, and I told you I'm controversial, we elect leaders who reflect our values.
Honorable, can you come again?
I am stating that as a people, we elect leaders who reflect our values.
Wow. Wow.
So the leaders we have, unfortunately, represent
Who we
our
are.
collective values.
Mm.
So when we are criticizing, when we are sharing blame, we are all to be blamed.
Okay.
Take the recent district assembly elections. Even at that level, aspirants go knocking on doors and people ask them, what have you brought?
Yes. Yes.
At that level.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so it creates a sense of having to grab so that when you go back to your constituent, you can give something to be re-elected.
Mm.
Are we not all involved?
We are.
And that is why I say
Wow.
that until we change our collective value, until we recognize that we are all part of the problem of the Ghanaian state,
Wow.
how many people would elect a person based on competence, based on objectivity, based on achievement? We hardly do that.
Exactly. In our Ghanaian community where we've got into it's
And so if we elect inept people, are we not part
we are.
of that problem?
We are. Oh, well, this is interesting. It's been an interesting conversation. Honorable, for now, we want to know some of your achievements here in Parliament, either committee on the floor of Parliament or even in your constituency, some of your notable achievements.
I'm not too comfortable talking about my achievements.
Okay,
Um, I'm comfortable talking about group achievements.
okay, okay,
For example, in my constituency, beloved constituency of Pru-East, my team and myself, working in conjunction with the district assembly and the chiefs, we've built more schools,
okay,
we've done more boreholes.
okay.
In terms of connection to the national grid is unparalleled. Provision of chips compound.
Wow,
And for me and my team, the focus has been on
development.
development of the people. Unfortunately, and again, it comes back to my earlier point. Look, I went to a particular community to meet party reps.
Is it the delegates?
Yes. Executives, let me put them. At that time, there was no election, so it
Okay,
wasn't.
okay,
Executives. A chairman of a branch said, MP, you've done so much.
okay,
We have a chiefs compound in our community now.
okay,
We have been connected to the national grid. You
okay.
built us a GHS block, which we never had.
Wow,
You've sunk boreholes here.
wow.
So look, whatever money is left, the development is okay. Let's share whatever is left.
Honorable,
Yes. I was the chairman of a branch.
wow.
And in Trio, he said, oh, why adwuma de why ye bi de why ye we nyina de aka bia no me enche ni say here ye bottom.
Hey!
Yeah. And this is not an isolated case. Most MPs will tell you that there are people in the communities, and these people constitute a large chunk
Mm,
who will forget about whatever development you have initiated and will vote for the highest bidder
I understand.
on any given day.
I understand.
So that is the malaise of our democracy.
Honorable, I'd want to follow up with this. Do you think that most of the learned people that probably pay attention to issues of development and are really into politics, not really politics, but then they know when things are for national good and probably a member of parliament is, devoted to make sure that this thing are being catered for? Is it that learned people are not interested when it comes to elections? So we select the rightful people for the position and we leave it to, I mean, just, I
You see,
mean,
the position of an MP comes with a number of, for lack of a better expression, a number of risks. The position of an MP. You are canon for ya. Anybody who can insult you,
yeah,
denigrate you at any time.
at any time.
And so we are getting to a stage where people of respectability are beginning to shy away
Huh.
from elected offices. You can't be popular with the community by being unpopular with your party, your executives, with delegates. Because, particularly if you are prioritizing the development of the community over their individual welfare issues. So you can't
Wow.
be popular with the community. The community, in fact, the most appreciative people are found are our people in the smaller towns. I don't I don't like the word rural areas, so I call them smaller
Smaller towns. Yeah.
towns or smaller settlements. Look, if you drill a borehole,
Okay.
sink a borehole
Okay.
in Nchamba, which is a town in my constituency,
Okay.
look, the people are so grateful, especially the women,
Really?
especially the women.
You take up some form of burden from their
Of them,
legs.
look, during the dry season, they could walk 3 miles looking for
Oh,
water. So they, and she's also a farmer.
sure.
She comes from the farm, walks 3 miles for water, 1.5 miles out, 1.5 miles in
Mm.
for water.
Wow.
She's already done a day's job on the
Just
field.
wow.
She comes back to come and cook for the family. She's so tired that when she goes into the room to sleep, no matter what her intention, she will just sleep.
Exactly.
And that can create its own micro friction in the home. So, for such a person, if you sink a borehole where she no longer has to walk 1.5 miles,
Not.
100 meters, 50 meters, there's a borehole, and the water is good, it's potable, they forever appreciate you. But she's not a delegate.
To the delegates. Wow.
So the dynamics of politics, and this is at the micro level, at the macro level, even with the so-called elite,
Mm-hmm.
we are intellectually lazy, extremely lazy, and probably the worst culprits are the media. Intellectual laziness. Let me give you a practical example. When the whole idea of free SHS became the magic wand, how many people sat to look, so what is the cost? The costing. I mean, free SHS is a wonderful idea, but what is the cost? How much is it going to cost us? How many JHS people will be coming out, will be churning out every year? What percentage of these people will go to the SHS? Do we have the infrastructure,
Mm.
the structural space
Mm.
to take the numbers?
Mm.
The cost. Is government in a position to take off the burden from parents? None of this was analyzed. None. We didn't even question it. Look, let me say it on record that I am for free senior high school
Okay.
across the country.
Okay.
I'm for it.
Okay.
However, I am not for free boarding houses. I've lived in Europe. Even in the well-to-do Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Finland, etc., the very Norway,
Mm-hmm.
very rich per capita, high per capita countries, the free education is limited to you going to school and coming back home.
Oh,
There are no boarding houses. You go to school in your vicinity, in your area, and come home.
I see.
So the boarding house concept is a Ghanaian creation when you look globally at free um, secondary education, except
Oh,
probably in the very oil rich countries with very low populations. But in Europe, the model, you stay home. So let's create more day schools. Let's create quality day schools so that we can increase the enrollment. However, we have no business saying that parents should not pay for the food of their children in boarding houses. That society must all pay for it. If your ward was in the house, wouldn't you feed the ward?
you would.
Precisely. So, my position is that there should be no free boarding house.
Okay.
We can have some studentships. There may be some students whose um, hometowns or where they're coming from are too far away from
I
any
see.
day school or from any secondary school. So we can have some scholarships for
Okay.
such people,
Okay.
but means tested.
Okay. Okay.
Means tested.
Okay.
So we have billionaires and millionaires children in
Yeah.
Ghana going to boarding
Yeah.
house
For
free
free.
at the expense of the Ghanaian
Government.
state.
It's yes.
And that is why I say we are intellectually lazy. The middle and professional classes, the so called elite of Ghanaian society, we are intellectually lazy. We allow ill thought through. We allow ill thought through policies to be mainstreamed. Planting for food and
Jobs.
jobs. We have spent so much money on that in agriculture. What has been the outcome? Indeed, this major determinant of inflation in Ghana is food inflation.
Yes.
So we'll ask ourselves the hundreds of millions of dollars we
That's were
pumped
pumped
into
into. Is
what
it
did it
really yielding
achieve?
food? No. No. No.
So did we think through it? Did we critique it? Did we do cost benefit analysis? And that is why I say we are intellectually lazy as a people.
Interesting. Honorable. So, what is life after Parliament?
Oh, there is so much to do. Um, First of all, I believe my party, the NDC, will come to power. I believe that.
Okay.
And when the NDC comes to power, there will be so much work
Okay.
to do because of where we are today. And experience will be needed
Exactly.
to bring us out of the doldrums where we want to get to. That is one. Two, I can do consultancy
Okay. Okay.
across a number of fields.
Okay.
But my passion is also to farm.
Oosh.
Yeah, so I've acquired a 2 mile square land at Abase in the
Wow.
Pru-West district. And this
Wow.
year I'm doing some farming too in Lonto and also in Bomodene in the Pru-East Constituency.
Wow.
So my passion is to farm. There has to be innovation in agriculture.
Honorable, so I'd want to come in by that. You have a lot of experience. You have been through the stage. And I mentioned earlier that These are the men that we need to contribute to the well-being of our democracy and even parliament in Ghana. Next year, we are not going to see you in parliament, but then how are you going to help our democracy, even not for NDC alone, but then the nation as a whole, with all your technical know-how and with all your knowledge? How are you going to help our democracy?
Well, you don't have to be elected to be an ambassador of democracy.
Okay,
We'll offer advice.
okay,
We would mentor those who want to be mentored.
okay,
We will also review the very practice of our democracy. I
okay.
stated earlier that ours is a transitional democracy.
Transitional.
So let us not pretend otherwise.
Okay,
And in transitional democracies, the thrust is towards development, socioeconomic development. Rights have a place in a democracy, but the rights of the collective must take precedence over individual rights.
exactly. What about, do you have future ambitions like becoming a vice president or becoming a president of Ghana?
Let the future tell.
Okay, Honorable, do you have last words for the people of Pru-East Constituency?
Yeah, I just want to thank them, to be grateful to them for having given me the opportunity to serve. And today, if I decided, in fact, there were calls from all over the place that I should contest as an independent candidate. And I believe if I did, I would still win the
Wow.
popular vote. But I'm a loyal member of the NDC. And so that thought will never be entertained. Delegates have made their decision. NDC delegates, not the people of Pru-East. NDC delegates have made their decision, and I accept it. I accept the opportunity to have served. If you look at my humble background, I'm the first person in my direct family to have gone to school. My father
Oh,
didn't go to school, my mother didn't go to school.
oh,
And they are surviving eldest child. So I believe if somebody had said when I was born that by the grace of God, I will be a cabinet minister someday, probably people would have doubted, looking at where the backyard of Ghana, where I come from. So I am grateful to the people of Pru-East for having given me opportunity. And I'm grateful to the leadership of both political parties in Ghana, but particularly the NDC, for giving me the opportunity. I believe there's still some fuel in the tank, and so I believe I'll still serve the country in a different capacity in the years ahead. Thank you.
thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donkor. We appreciate your time and we are grateful for your insights that you have shared. I believe most of the incoming MPs would want to come to you for mentorship because there's a lot within you that we are supposed to tap. And I believe, again, you are going to contribute more and more to our nation. Once again, thank you. Hello, viewers. We are coming to an end to our show, and I would want you all to check social media, to be specific, Facebook, on Institute of Parliamentary Matters. We are bringing your way a lot and a lot of issues here in Ghana, here in politics, and here in our parliament. Thank you. Once again, my name is Jennifer Na Bampo, and I was your host for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.